Good morning, my dear students. I am happy to meet you once again today through this online class. In your previous class, we have discussed the stability constant, and there the scientist Jerome has said the coordination compound is formed by the stepwise addition of the ligand to the metal solution. There I have taught you two general methods how a coordination compound is formed by the stepwise addition of the ligand. In the second method, in the last step, that is M plus NL, giving rise to MLN. Beta 1 is the dissociation constant, or I said this is called as overall formation constant, should be written as, according to law of mass action, the molar concentration of the products upon the molar concentration of the reactants, and here the L should be raised to the N, that is coefficient mentioned in the equation. So yesterday, by oversight, I have written this in place of molar concentration of L raised to N, I have written this MLN here. So make a correction there and take a note of that. Now, in this class, we shall now discuss what are the factors that influence the formation of a coordination compound, or the factors that affecting coordination compounds. Factors affecting coordination compounds. Now, when you see a coordination compound, you have a central metal ion and you have a ligand. For example, if I write this complex K4FeCl6, so this Fe is the central metal ion and Cl is the ligand there. That means in a coordination compound, you have a central metal ion and you have a ligand, which means the formation of a coordination compound depends upon two factors. Number one is the properties of this central metal ion. I will write the first factor, properties of the central metal ion. And the second factor on which the formation of a coordination compound depends is the properties of the ligand. So first let us discuss how the coordination compound is forming depending upon the properties of the central metal ion. Now to explain these properties of central metal ion, I will take first the central metal ion. The properties of central metal ion is charge and size of the central metal ion. That means the formation of a coordination compound depends upon the charge and size of the central metal ion. I will explain like this. I will take two complexes here. One is beryllium hydroxy complex, in other words hydroxo beryllium 2 complex ion. The other one is magnesium hydroxo complex, or the IUPAC name is hydroxo magnesium 2 complex ion. Now here in these alkaline earth metals, that is beryllium and magnesium, which are the central metal ions, they are having the same charge. Charge is +2 and that of magnesium is also +2. They are having the both same charges. Then if I write their sizes, it is 0.31 Armstrong units and 0.65 Armstrong units. This is charge here, right? This is size. And let me write there stability constant values. This is 10 raised to 7 and this is 120. Look at these values that I have written. I have written two complexes. The charges on the central metal ion, they are same. They are differing in their sizes. The size, the ionic size of this beryllium +2 ion is 0.31 Armstrong unit, and the ionic size of this Mg +2 ion is 0.65 Armstrong units. And look at these beta values, the stability constant values. Beryllium +2 ion is having 10 raised to 7. That means it is more stable. Higher is the stability constant value, greater will be the stability of the coordination compound that is formed. Why? It has got the small ionic size. That means if the two complexes in which the central metal ion is having the same charge but differ in their ionic sizes, the one which has got the small ionic size will give rise to a highly stable coordination compound. Is it okay? That's why the beryllium +2, which is having the small ionic size 0.31 Armstrong units, is showing that beta value 10 raised to 7. Therefore, this complex ion is more stable than the second one. So the first factor is the central metal ions, they are having the same charges but differ in their ionic sizes. The one which has got the small ionic size is more stable. Then I will write another two compounds and let us see. FeCN6 carrying a charge of -3. FeCN6 carrying a charge of -4. Hexacyanoferrate 3 ion. This is hexacyanoferrate 2 ion. That is, they are having the charges +3 and +2. Is it okay? The central metal ion here is iron, is having the charge on this central metal ion is +3, and here the central metal iron is having the charge as +2. In other words, oxidation state. Then I will write there sizes. This is 0.6 and this is 0.7. Look at this ionic sizes, almost they are same, 0.6 and 0.7. So if I write there the beta values, these are stability values, in terms of the log B values, the value of this is 31 and this one is 8. So look at these values. Which is having more the stability constant value? The first complex ion. So that means if there are two complexes having the central metal ion same, having the different charges, having the same size, Is it okay? They are having almost same size. So if there are two complexes having the same charge but same size, same size, then the one that is having the high charge on this central metal ion is highly stable. So I repeat this. So if there are two complexes in which the central metal ions have got the same size, and the central metal ion which is having the high charge will be highly stable. In other words, the complex formed by that central metal ion which is having the high charge is more stable. So this is the first factor on which the formation of a coordination compound depends. What is that? The charge and size of the central metal ion. Okay. Now the second factor on which the formation of a coordination compound depends on the central metal ion is crystal field stabilization energy. See, you have already learned in case of crystal field theory, the complexes in which there are no unpaired electrons, we said they are diamagnetic complexes, and the complexes in which the central metal ion has got unpaired electrons are called as high spin complexes, or they are paramagnetic in nature. Now if I write two complexes, hexamine cobalt 3 ion and hexafluoro cobaltate 3 ion, this complex ion, the first one, hexamine cobalt 3, has got the crystal field stabilization as 24 dQ, and in this hexafluoro cobaltate 3 ion has got the crystal field stabilization as -4 dQ. That means this first complex ion is highly stable because it has got more crystal field stabilization energy. Is it okay? Now if you consider these high spin complexes or weak ligand complexes, even among these high spin complexes, the one which has got more crystal field stabilization energy is highly stable. For example, the complexes formed by the octahedral complexes of Ni+2 and Ni+2 and the other one is vanadium+2, etc. They have got the high crystal field stabilization energy values, that is 1.2 delta naught crystal field stabilization energies. So what I said here, remember, among these complexes, the diamagnetic complexes or the low spin complexes are highly stable because they possess what? The more crystal field stabilization energies than what? The high spin complexes or the weak ligand field complexes or paramagnetic complexes, because they possess less crystal field stabilization energy. Further I said, if we take these high spin complexes, among these high spin complexes, the one which has got higher crystal field stabilization energy is highly stable. For example, I said the octahedral complexes of this Ni+2 and this vanadium+2 complexes, they are stable. Though they are high spin complexes, they are still stable because they possess this high value of crystal field stabilization energy. This is 1.2. Now the next one is, next property of this central metal ion on which the formation of a coordination compound depends is electronegativity of the central metal ion, or it is acidic nature of that central metal ion. Acidic nature. See, ligand is donating a pair of electrons to the central metal ion, which means the central metal ion must accept, it must have the ability to accept that donated electron pairs. That means it must have a high electronegativity. In other words, it must be an acidic in nature. So, the central metal ions having high electronegativity or acidic in nature, they will form the coordination compounds very easily. So these are the three properties of the central metal ions which influences the formation of a coordination compound. Number one, I said what? It depends upon the charge and size of the central metal ion. Number two, it depends upon what? Crystal field stabilization energy. Number three, I said it also depends upon the electronegativity. Now, the second property, right? The second property on which the formation of a coordination compound depends is, I said it depends upon what? The ligand. Therefore, the properties of ligand, let us study. So, which are the properties of a ligand that influences the formation of a coordination compound? So, in this, again I will take the first one. It depends once again the charge and size of the ligand ion or a molecule, right? Charge and size. I will write two complexes here once again. Fe, F carrying a charge of +3 and FeCl carrying a charge of +2. Now observe, in these two cases, the oxidation number of the iron is +3, right? It is the oxidation number in both the cases, it is +3. Whereas the charge on the ion is +3, okay? Now observe, you know very well, among the periodic table, the fluorine atom is the smallest atom. Its atomic size, we say it is small, very, very small. So, if we take this fluorine atom, its size is less than that of the chlorine atom. In other words, here this fluoride ligand, the ionic size is less than that of what? The chloride ligand. So here the complexes that are formed by this fluoride ion are highly stable than the complexes that are formed by this chloride ion. Now if I write the values of these two complexes, it will become clear to you. This has got a beta value 10⁻⁶ and this has got a beta value 20. Look at these values then. That means this is highly stable, this complex ion is highly stable than what? The second complex ion. So here what I am telling, if there are two complexes in which the ligand is, its ionic size, if it is less than the other one, the one which has got the ionic size small will form a stable complex. Is it okay? So it also depends here, I said now, it depends upon the charge and size. Both the F and Cl, they are having the same charge. Though they are having the same charge, F minus is forming a stronger coordination compound because its atomic size or its ionic size is less than that of what? The chloride ion ligand. Okay? Now the second factor of the ligand on which the formation of a coordination compound depends is, it depends upon the basic nature of or the basicity of the ligand. See, the central metal ion you studied, the metal ion should have high electronegativity. That means it should be having more acidic nature. Reverse, if the metal ion is having the acidic nature, the ligand that is donating a pair of electron must have high basic nature. Therefore, a ligand which is more basic in nature will influence the formation of a coordination compound. For example, ammonia is more basic than water, which is more basic than HF, hydrogen fluoride. So in these ligands, the ammonia has got high basicity, and hence the complexes formed by this ammonia are more stable than the complexes formed by the water, and in turn the complexes formed by the hydrogen fluoride. So the second factor of the ligand is it depends upon the basic nature. Now the third one is it depends upon chelating effect. Now let us see what is this chelating effect. I will write two complexes of the Ni plus 2, the octahedral complexes. First with ammonia it forms hexamine nickel 2 complex ion, which is octahedral in shape. Then another complex, when it combines with ethylene diamine, CH2 on either side, NH2. This is ethylene diamine. For simplicity, I will write it as EN, ethylene diamine. So it forms a complex tris ethylene diamine nickel 2 complex ion. So its name is called as, since it is a bulkier ligand, we use tris in place of tri. Therefore, it is tris ethylene diamine nickel 2 complex. Among these two, the second complex is stable. It has got a value of 18, and this one has got a value of 7 as a crystal, the stability constant. So whichever has got more stability constant is highly stable. Therefore, this tris ethylene diamine nickel 2 complex ion is stable because it has got this structure. I write the structure here. The octahedral structure of this tris ethylene diamine nickel 2 complex. Now look here what I am writing. This ethylene diamine is a bidentate ligand, right? Here nitrogen donate a pair of electron. Here on this nitrogen there is a pair of electron. It donates to the central metal ion ligand. So this ethylene diamine, if I take, it will donate this electron pair to this from this side, and again to this nickel ion, metal ion from this side. Similarly, one ethylene diamine is holding this Ni plus 2 ion from two sides. Again, this ethylene diamine is holding the central metal ion from these two directions. That means the ethylene diamine is forming a ring structure like this, which is called as chelate. We shall see what are chelates later on. So since it is forming a ring structure chelate, that means the ligand is holding that central metal ion from different directions. Therefore, this complex formed is highly stable than this first one. Is it okay? So you are noticing from these values, it has got the stability constant 18, whereas this has got the stability constant 7. So the second factor of the properties of the ligand which influences the formation of a ligand is it is chelating effect. If the ligand is forming chelates, then the complex chelate is more stable than the ordinary ligands. Is it okay? Now another factor on which the formation of the coordination compound depends upon is the number of chelate rings. So more is the number of chelate rings around the central metal ion, more will be the stability of the coordination compound that is formed. So earlier what I said, if a chelate compound is getting formed, if a chelate coordination compound is getting formed, that is, I said it is more stable. Now further what I am telling, if there are more number of chelate rings, then that complex is more stable than the other one. So if there are 4 chelate rings, that is more stable than the complex compound which is having 3 rings. Is it okay? Then the other factor of the ligand on which the formation of a coordination compound depends is, now I take this ethylene diamide. See here, this is ethylene diamide. It's a bidentate ligand. Okay, NH12, right? Now if these 2 hydrogens are replaced by the bulkier group, methyl groups on either side, okay, let me replace with the bulkier groups, the methyl groups. So what happens is, here these methyl groups are electron withdrawing groups. Followed what I am telling, these methyl groups are electron withdrawing groups. They try to withdraw the electron towards itself. In other words, they are lowering the donating capacity of this nitrogen ligand. Followed what I said. So if a ligand is attached to the electron withdrawing groups, then the formation of a coordination compound. In other words, the coordination compound that formed, its stability decreases. Is it okay? So remember what I said here. In a ligand to the donor atom, if it is attached to the electron withdrawing groups, then the stability of the coordination compound that is formed decreases. So it depends upon what? Steric effect. Is it okay? Steric effect. So the complexes formed by the tetramethyl ethylene diamide are less stable than the complexes that are formed by the ethylene diamide. Is it okay now? Is that point is clear? Take the complexes formed by the ethylene diamide, compare them with the complexes formed by the tetramethyl ethylene diamide. We come to the conclusion that the complexes formed by the tetramethyl ethylene diamide are less stable than the complexes formed by the ethylene diamide, because in the tetramethyl ethylene diamide we got the bulkier groups, the electron withdrawing groups, hence that reduces the stability of the coordination compound that is formed. So these are the various properties of this ligand that influences the formation of a coordination compound. So today we have studied the properties on which the formation of a coordination compound depends. Number one, I said it depends upon the properties of the central metal ion. There also we have studied 3 properties. It depends upon the charge and size of the central metal ion. It depends upon the crystal field stabilization energy, it also depends upon the electronegativity or the acidic nature. And in the second one, that is the properties of a ligand that influences the formation of a coordination compound. There we studied once again, it depends number one on the charge and size of the ligand. Then number two, we said it also depends upon the basic character of that ligand. And now we have learned it also depends upon the steric effect, and it also depends upon the chelating effect. So this is all about the factors that influences the formation of a coordination compound. I hope you understood this fact very well, and we shall continue with our topic tomorrow. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you very much.